Yeah, you read the title right. This is the most affordable 49-inch curved super ultra-wide gaming monitor with a 144Hz refresh rate, 4 millisecond response time, and HDR for only $800. But there's a catch. Actually, there's two. There's two catches, huh? Now, you're probably all expecting this to have a 1440p resolution, right? Yeah, well, this is a 3840 by 1080, so it's a 1080p monitor, but it's still insane to game on. I was really happy to see that the only red on this 49-inch is the brand name on the bottom bezel and a thin red ring around the back of the monitor stand mount. But other than that, it's a really clean looking gaming monitor with a nice minimal metal stand that unfortunately only tilts, with no pivot or height adjustments, which kind of sucks, but it's got nice thin bezels, a little navigation button bulge on the bottom. But it's a good bulge because it houses the IR receiver for the included remote control, which is pretty handy, and surprisingly, a little RGB accent feature on the back of the monitor at the top of the stand. It can change to a few different colors by turning on and off other colors. And it has two modes, normal, which is just static, and then flicker. Yeah, I know, it's weird as hell. It's also really dim, so don't expect to throw out a nice glow on the wall behind it, but it is there if you wanted to match your system RGB theme or something, I guess. Moving on. For ports, we've got a single display port, 3 HDMI ports, and a headphones port. It does have a couple of built-in speakers, which sort of adds to the value you're getting, but I mean, they're pretty bad. It's VESA mountable, and I think that covers all the boring stuff, so let's get into gaming, shall we? Now, this is my first experience ever with a super ultra wide, let alone gaming on one, so obviously the first time I fired up a game, I didn't know what to do with myself. Kind of like the night I lost my virginity, just wide-eyed, looking everywhere, touching things. But when I finally jumped into a match, I was just astonished, because basically this thing's like having a dual 27-inch monitor setup but without the bezel in the middle, and even though it's a 1080p monitor coming from a 1440p monitor, while in game the resolution difference kind of melts away, but for general desktop usage like while browsing the web, because the pixel density is pretty stretched out, things can look a little underwhelming sometimes. Now, at first I thought that maybe the extra field of view would help me catch little fuckers trying to flank me, and it did help a few times. I caught a couple that I wouldn't have even seen with my main 35-inch ultra-wide, but I quickly found that when I pay attention to the far left and right, sometimes I'd get motion sickness. So I stopped doing that, and now the extra field of view just completely encompasses my peripheral vision and creates a level of immersion that pretty much removes me from reality, like a crazy LSD trip or something. It's pretty nutty. But as I mentioned earlier, it does have a refresh rate of up to 144Hz with up to a 4 millisecond response time with Overdrive, which sounds awesome, right? Yeah, well, at 144Hz, the option to enable Overdrive to get that 4 ms response time is disabled until you drop it down to 120Hz. Otherwise, at 144, you're stuck at an 8 ms response time, which, in my personal opinion, sort of defeats the purpose of having a 144Hz display, damn it! Now, personally, my eyes aren't trained enough to tell the difference between milliseconds, nor am I a competitive gamer, so both settings look great to me. But for a VA panel, blacks look nice and deep, and colors look good with 99% sRGB and 88% DCI-P3. So not the best, but not bad for some video or photo editing if you wanted. And it gets pretty bright too at 390 nits at its max, which is a bit over the factory rating of 320 nits. And I haven't detected any backlight bleed, so we're good there. But that actually brings me to HDR performance, because it's not actually true HDR, or even close to it. I think because it supports 10-bit processing, Viotek sort of cheated and called it HDR, like a lot of other major monitor makers do too. But anyways, because its max brightness doesn't get as high as at least 600 nits, let alone 1000, and it doesn't have a wide enough color gamut, it can't really be called HDR. So if you did want to buy this as a gaming monitor, I just recommend leaving HDR turned off. But aside from that, this is a metric shit ton of fun to game on, and beyond gaming, it's still a great productivity monitor too. Anyways, I'll leave a link in the description if you wanted to check it out some more, but I'd love to know what you guys all think. Like, even though it's the most affordable super ultra wide on the market right now, $800 is still a lot of money for a monitor. So do you think the price to performance is justifiable? Drop me a comment and let me know. If you have any questions, I'll be hanging out in the comments for a bit, but hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, show me some love with that like button, and if you're new to my stuff, Don't forget to subscribe for new videos every week. But thanks as always for watching, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Cheers.